Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. The sights, the sounds, the exhilaration of a 185-mile-an-hour festival of speed. And we welcome you back to Surfers Paradise. We're just south of Brisbane in Australia. Ready to go with round 13 of the 2006 Champ Car World Series. It's the Champ Car Grand Prix of Australia. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin, joined by Derek Daly here in our Champ Car World Series studios. Our colleague Jan Beekes is down under for us today, and he'll be providing commentary from along pit road. On the pace laps, Derek, Will Power will lead the field to green in his home country. What a huge triumph already for Team Australia.
This can potentially be the biggest day of his life. Can he pull it off?
Let's take one more look at the starting lineup. As always in Champ Car, there are some surprises to talk about. Power and Bourdais up front, Tracy and Junqueira in row 2. Best qualifying effort for Nelson Philippe with Serbia. Allmendinger has to start 7th today, along with Speedy Dan Clark in 8th. There's tag Dominguez. Ryan Briscoe makes his debut today.
Pisonia crashed right before the start of the second qualifying session, so that does not represent the speed he has. Andreas Wirth brings up the rear of the field, the Atlantic driver making his debut.
So 17 cars will take the green today. Justin Wilson, who was the only other driver along with Allmendinger to have a chance to derail Bourdais' train today, got injured over the weekend. Has a broken bone in his wrist. He will not run. We'll take a ride today with Sebastian Bourdais, two-time series champ, hoping to make it 3 straight in the McDonald's car number 1. He's on the outside pole.
And I can't imagine him being in full attack mode as he tries to win this championship in the glorious Surfers Paradise.
And Will Power led qualifying both Friday and Saturday in Australia, and we'll have cameras on board the Team Australia Aussie Vineyards 5 car.
He's been fast in every single session, including the warm-up this morning.
Now we're also going to ride today with Ryan Briscoe, who makes his Champ Car debut. Plenty of open wheel experience. He starts 11th in the Roosevelt 10 car.
And again, another Australian who is just delighted to perform in front of his hometown crowd.
And Andrew Ranger in the Walmart car, the 27th, the Hijack Conquest machine. He starts 12th today. He's got one of our onboard cameras as well. We have a helmet cam with Andrew Ranger also today. 13th race of 2006. Bourdais finishes 9th or better. He's the champion. How about Derek's Daily? What do you like today, Derek?
Well, I think number 1 on this will be Australia's power dream. Can Will Power live the dream and bring a party that Australia's never seen before with a potential win here? And then will we sit back Seabass? Will Sebastian Bourdais be intact motor defensive? I think defensive. AJ Allmendinger, can he be the 16th different winner in 16 starts and make it Sweet 16? Yes, he has the potential. He was the fastest man in qualifying. However, the red flag took away his fastest time.
Pit-wise today, you want to try to do this in 2 stops, but you've got to save fuel to do it if we go green all the way. Tony Kama, the Champ Car Chief Steward, has told the drivers to be careful as they come to the start. He wants a gap row to row.
Oh, watch Will Power for the home crowd.
No start, no start. They were not packed up at all. The first 5 rows were separated from the rest of the field.
Oh, Will Power lets out a sigh of relief. Whoa, I got to do this again. Now remember, Bourdais is on the front row. Paul Tracy is right behind him. Paul Tracy, better known as Sugar Ray Tracy because of the boxing matches he's had earlier this year. Bourdais will be watching him in the mirrors.
All right, let's squeeze in a quick timeout before the field comes back around and we try again to go green in Surfers Paradise. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Our coverage today brought to you by Ford Bold Moves. They happen every day. And by Bridgestone Tires, passion for excellence. And we welcome you back to Surfers Paradise, 13th race of 2006 as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Derek Will Power up front, Bourdais in second. We're receiving word from race control in Australia. The drivers are being told, let's make this a single file start to avoid the carnage we've seen the last couple of years in the chicane.
And Will Power, this is uncharted territory for him. He is the pole sitter, so he has the potential to lead them down. Wow, he's away.
Here we go.
And they give him the green.
Much like we saw in Houston, Texas early in the season. The drivers tiptoeing through the first couple of corners here.
I'd much rather see that than see the carnage that we have seen here on the opening laps in Australia. But Sebastian Bourdais now in pursuit of Will Power. Power has a fast racing car. It's been fast all weekend long here.
All Sebastian Bourdais needs to do, finish 9th or better, even if Allmendinger wins today. If Allmendinger finishes behind Bourdais, no matter where they end up, Bourdais also would be the champion.
Bourdais going to keep his eye on that blue car of Paul Tracy. Paul Tracy is a menace sometimes to Seabass. Jan?
In regards to that single foul restart, you guys were right on the money. The call came from Tony Kottman just moments before the start. They relayed it to each driver, said race call from the race director, single file restart, and obviously it was a good call by Tony Kottman. I mean, a lot of us would like to see him race side by side into turn number 1, but the great news, no carnage for the first time in a long time in the first chicane.
Everybody gets to race all day.
Let's see when they bring these tires up to temperature. Who has what? Will Power is brimful of confidence to do what he did in both days of qualifying, Friday and Saturday, to put the Team Australia car at the head of the grid.
Paul Tracy starts third. He sits third in front of Bruno Junqueira. Nelson Philippe is in the top 5. Here's Bruno now in the hole-in-the-wall Camps 2 car for the Newman Haas team. 1 or 2 years ago, didn't get to defend his crown last year because of those Indy injuries. Royal Serbia drove this car here in 2005, and here is Nelson Philippe in the CTE HVM car.
There are so many good stories here. The best ever qualifying for Nelson Philippe. Again, a man who has come on, maybe again the most improved driver of the season here. Nelson Philippe just keeps getting better and better. The man who thought he should have been on the pole with that car. Had a lap that was almost quick enough to do it, but he didn't get it done because of a red flag.
Still his best ever starting spot, 5th today. Now, here's the Gulfstream car. This is Oriol Serbia. Said he didn't really like his race car after the morning warm-up. They were fast. He just didn't think it would be consistent today, but he's starting on the reds.
Those Bridgestone Reds were faster here. More than half a second faster for the drivers who got the balance right, were able to use them. Most drivers have started on the reds. Bit of a fashion here. If the quicker guys at the front go on reds, you almost have to go on reds in case you can't quite keep up the pace.
2 laps complete of 59. A.J. Allmendinger next in line, lining up 7th. In the Forsyth Index car number 7. Allmendinger in that spot right now as we work lap number 3 here at Surfers Paradise.
Has to be patient. Allmendinger has to let this race unfold. He knows he has a fast car. He was third fastest on full tanks this morning in the final practice session. Just let it come. Clark right behind him and just as quick at this stage.
Speedy Dan putting some pressure here on Allmendinger.
Yeah, Speedy Dan, another driver. I mean, we talk about drivers who have improved. You have to say Dan Clark. We know he has the speed, but he's beginning to put that consistency together now, on board with Will Power. Oh, this must feel so good for Will Power in Australia, the hometown boy, to be out in front here.
8 top 10s this season. He started his Champ Car career here 1 year ago, Derek.
And Derek Walker is very good at reading strategy. Sebastian Bourdais right behind him, now on board. There's Will Power just right ahead. That was the fastest chicane they come through. You have to crash over the top of the curbs to be fast through that chicane.
Bourdais just needs to keep it between the fences today, essentially.
Top end of the racetrack. Little right-hand kink here, then to a first gear left-hander. Slowest corner right here. Slowest corner, then the drag strip. Just look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Again, almost a record attendance. Up until Saturday, more than 211,000 people came here. Just an awesome weekend.
On board with power. Fastest qualifier both Friday and Saturday. Led the field to green today. First time in his career. And he is out front now, but Tracy is on the move.
Tracy is on the move, closing in just a little bit on Sebastian Bourdais, just a tad on the last lap. I tell you, Bourdais is going to keep Will Power honest here, and more so than a driving test. This is a mental skills test for Will Power. Can he withstand the pressure, and can he be mistake-free? Now, he crept up on us a little bit in the States, but Will Power won very big races in Europe before he appeared in Champ Car. Jan?
In regards to Sebastian Bourdais, and Derek, you mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast, you think he will be conservative. Keep in mind that if 3 cars fall out of this race, the championship is his, even if he doesn't finish. So at the moment, with a nice clean start, I expect that Sebastian will be conservative. But if there's a little bit of carnage or something happens and all of a sudden 3 drop out, then he knows he's good to go, and we'll see an aggressive Sebastian Bourdais.
Meantime, A.J. Allmendinger pretty aggressive here, pulled out to take a look, trying to get by Serbia for 6th. Didn't have room enough, but he appears to be faster. I think Serbia's holding him up there.
Oh, yeah. He is faster. He is absolutely faster right now, and he's anxious to get by because Serbia, if he can get by him, he needs to set out after Philippe. Serbia's quick down this straight here. He is fast down the straight. Oh, towards the ends of it. In the brake zones particularly, Allmendinger looks just that little bit faster.
Will Power is the race leader. We put 5 of 59 laps on the board here at Surfers Paradise. That's a measure of some of the support that Team Australia has in the Champ Car World Series Grand Prix of Australia. We'll be right back at Surfers in a moment. Welcome back to Surfers Paradise, the Champ Car World Series and the Grand Prix of Australia. Hey, Speed on Demand can put the power in your hands. Some things are worth living over and over again. Never miss your show. Go to speedtv.com and sign up for Speed on Demand. Alongside Derek Daly, I'm Rick Benjamin. Jan Vikas on the ground for us at Surfers Paradise, working lap number 7 of 59. We ride with Andrew Ranger in that MyJack Conquest Walmart machine, sitting 12th right now. We've got the helmet cam with young Mr. Ranger from Quebec today. Meantime, we've got a battle for position here. This is Junqueira under attack from Nelson Philippe. This would be for 4th spot.
Oh, Nelson Philippe is quite a bit quicker than Junqueira at the moment. He took a little look down the inside. Junqueira just moved his car over a little bit to make it difficult for Philippe. Nelson Philippe needs to be careful. It is too early yet, 7 laps in, to make any type of banzai move. But we know Allmendinger is a little bit quicker right now, and Nelson Philippe is a little bit quicker. There's Allmendinger still behind Serbia.
I thought Allmendinger would have an opportunity by now, but it's close confines here. We've seen him snap that Forsyth Index car to the outside of Serbia a couple of different times. Clark, I think, is being held up as well.
The problem is Serbia is quick down the straight, so they have a little bit less downforce on that red and white PKV Gulfstream car than the blue Forsyth car has, which means Allmendinger is quick. Again, look, quick at the brake zone, quick turns in. But this is what frustrates him. He's so much quicker in through here.
Allmendinger knows that the longer it takes him to get by Serbia, the more opportunity Power and Bourdais have had to run off and hide here. And Allmendinger desperately wants to close the season with a couple of wins.
Look at this. There's a good run out of here. Good run. But as soon as Serbia gets the power on, oh, he's on the button. He's on the button. Power to pass. Here we come. Here he goes.
Allmendinger to the outside on that little gentle twist on the front straightaway, down into the chicane.
Oh!
Forces Serbia to hammer the brakes, and Allmendinger gets by.
But Serbia did not back off, did not make it easy, locked up a right front to make it more difficult for Allmendinger. Jan?
In regards to Oriol Serbia, you mentioned at the beginning of the show that he thought the car wasn't real consistent in the morning practice. Specifically, he said the car was harsh, and you could see it there on the approach to the chicane when he started to lock up the brakes. It seems as though the car is a bit more stiff, and Derek, the way there's crowns in the road here, it poses a problem.
Meantime, Catherine Legg is off course in the Bell Micro 20 car, the PKV entry. We talked to her before the start. Heard Jan's interview with Lady Catherine, who survived that horrific wreck at Road America back in September. It looks as though her day may be over after only 8 laps. Meantime, here's Allmendinger up to 6th now in front of Serbia in the Gulfstream, car number 6. And behind those two, it continues to be Dan Clark, the Rookie of the Year contender, desperately trying to gain some points here. Will Power with a 7-point advantage in the Roche France Rookie of the Year standings coming in. Power on the pole, leading the race at this point. Clark knows too. He needs to try to get to the front as quickly as he can to give Power something to think about. This should be a 3-stint race. We're expecting 2 pit stops, but as Jan told us before the start, you pretty much have to. And there's the situation with Catherine Legg going off at the end of one of the straightaways here. She didn't use the runoff area, but she did stall the car.
Yeah, she probably should have gone down the runoff, lose the momentum, spin it around. There she got going again, but she lost valuable time.
She's lost a lap at this point. Meantime, we check in with the 2 leaders. That's Power out in front. Bourdais a couple of car lengths back in second. Paul Tracy runs third. Top 3 nose to tail. Everyone content to ride for the moment, Derek.
It was the World Series by Renault Championship in 2005 where Will Power had 2 victories in Europe. He also came from the British Formula 3 Championship. But there's Dan Clark there. You see him closing up on Serbia. Now Dan Clark chucks this champ car around a bit like a go-kart. He doesn't mind getting the back stepping out, getting the front, making it work hard. Dan Clark is on the limit as he throws this thing around. Oh, AJ now closing in rapidly on Junqueira. Where's Philippe? Did he pass Philippe already? No, Philippe passed Junqueira.
That is Bruno Junqueira in car number 2. So Nelson Philippe, it appears, has moved up a spot.
Yeah, and Bruno's hanging on here because Philippe passed him and pulled away quite easily.
Allmendinger right there behind Junqueira as they battle for position. Philippe unofficially up to 4th right now. There he is.
No flashing red lights this time, so not using the Cosworth Power to pass.
As we see Philippe going by in front of Junqueira.
In regards to AJ Allmendinger, obviously turning the heat up and making his move, or at least making his presence known there on Bruno Junqueira. He has been extremely confident this weekend, bar the times that he has had some contact with the wall. Each time he feels he's had a bit of bad luck, but unfortunately for AJ Allmendinger, he's just hoping for the right break here to get some clear road.
Meantime, one of the CTE HVM cars has made a move. That's a look there as we saw Nelson Philippe get his move. Catherine Legg, meantime, and Andreas Wirth at the back of the field as we watch the leaders. Top 3 continue to be Power, Sebastian Bourdais, Paul Tracy, working on lap number 11 of 59 today through the streets of Surfers Paradise. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Rookie Will Power's been in command so far. And we welcome you back. Charles Wolzman making an early pit stop here on lap 11 in the MyJack Conquest 34 car. Now Wolzman was 15th when they pitted. In all likelihood, that means that Wolzman will not be able to make this on 2 stops. Allmendinger has gotten by the car of Bruno Junqueira. So move Allmendinger up to 5th position now in the Forsyth Index car number 7. Second in the championship. Desperately trying to maintain a shot at the title. Going to Mexico City in a couple of weeks. Coming up, we'll announce the winner of the Champ Car Live Fast Sweepstakes presented by Bridgestone. Our grand prize winner for the year gets a trip to the Grand Prix of Mexico City in November instead of Bridgestone Potenzas, an Auto Week subscription, and that brand new Ford Mustang GT at the series finale. Stay tuned. The name of the grand prize winner coming up in the Champ Car Live Fast Sweepstakes presented by Bridgestone. Sebastian Bourdais stands to become the 3-time Champ Car champion, 3 consecutive titles if he can finish unofficially now 14th or better. We heard Jan Bikas say earlier, if 3 cars fall out of the event, that would give the title to Bourdais because of the bonus point situation. That would mean that Allmendinger hasn't scored a point for taking the pole either Friday or Saturday, and he would not score any of the other bonus points either. So Bourdais really in great shape right now as he pressures Will Power for the lead.
And as long as Will Power does not make a mistake, I don't see Tracy or Bourdais having enough speed or extra speed to pass him. Incidentally, Paul Tracy has set fastest lap of the race at a 1:34.69. 7.6 is Will Power, so that's only 0.05 of a second slower is Will Power. So he is well in control. Jan?
A moment ago you talked about Live Fast winners. Believe it or not, the Live Fast winner for Australia, who won from Edmonton, Canada, had never been on an airplane before. So talk about baptism by fire. That was a heck of a long flight.
And a heck of a move by Paul Tracy, who just dive-bombed Sebastian Bourdais. Tracy now to second, and he sets off in chasing Will Power. What a move by PT.
Yeah, and when Seabass saw Tracy coming down, he just backed off and gave him all the room he needed. Because when you get into a fight with Sugar Ray Tracy, you potentially could come out on the wrong end of the stick. Now, Tracy, can he now run down Will Power?
Oh, trouble for Speedy Dan Clark. Dan Clark has put the CTHPM 14 car hard into the tires, and he has stalled that race car. We have a local caution. This is one of the left-handers.
How did he get in there? Look at the tires. Look at the left tire. Almost looks like a blister. I don't think it is. I think it's just stones.
Full course yellow being displayed. J.D. Wilbur on the flag stand.
See the skid marks? It looks like he went in there sideways. Probably braked a little bit too late. No sooner had we said that Speedy Dan was beginning to put the package together than he ends up broadside into the tires.
There it is.
Oh, there he goes. Top of the picture. Don't see anybody else. All by his lonesome. Can't blame anybody.
That is turn 9 here at Surfers Paradise, where Clark went off into the tires. There's that move again. Replay for you. Watching Tracy on the outside going into one of the left-handers, getting second.
And that is coming out of the really fast S's. Paul Tracy passed, but Dan Clark knows he's done for the day.
Looks as though the 14 car will have to be brought in on the hook. Speedy Dan Clark's bid goes by the boards. Power is your leader. He's led all the way. Tracy now up to second. We're under caution in Australia. We welcome you back to Surfers Paradise. Leaders are on pit road. In fact, all the leaders deciding to stop early as we ride with Bourdais here in the McDonald's #1. They go to work. 4 new Bridgestone Potentials. They'll use the blacks.
What's going to happen here? Will they short fill him to give him track position over Will Power? Oh, Tracy, Will Power almost hit each other.
Big scramble, and Briscoe gets into another car on pit road. Here comes Junqueira, the 04 winner.
He's last away. Junqueira, I think, has gone right to the back of the field.
Power lost 3 spots on pit road unofficially.
Is there a fire? There was a fire.
Yeah, they're hosing somebody down there in the Forsyth Index pits. Dumping water. Remember, it's an alcohol fire. You can't see it, but they know it's there. They can feel the heat, to be sure.
Is the fuel still coming out? It is. The fuel is still coming out.
One of the dump cans.
It's a Forsyth car.
And we're told that there may be a piece of the fuel ring hanging out of one of the cars. Have a look.
There goes Tracy. There goes Sebastian. Oh!
Part of the fuel rig on the back end of the 7 car.
AJ tore the whole rig with him. He essentially will be done for the day, having made that mistake, which is a shame because he just set fastest lap of the race. There's Tracy.
Oh, he got in another car. He clouded Will Power and broke part of the side pod off Power's car. And it's Allmendinger carrying part of the fuel rig.
I just saw that unfold earlier as we saw Tracy come out and crowd Will Power. So he whacks him in the side. Watch the top of your picture right there. Boom, there's Tracy. Oh, he spears off Will Power and comes right across the bow of Sebastian Bourdais.
Now that could have been disastrous for Bourdais.
It is a disaster for this man here. Look, there's the rig. There's the fuel rig.
Now Allmendinger will have to pit. The question will be, will there be a penalty?
Will there be enough fuel? The tank has basically emptied itself out onto the pit lane.
Here's another look from onboard Power's
left
car.
Side. Tracy, what an idiot. What a dumb move by Paul Tracy to drive right out in front of the leading car who's in the fast lane, and Tracy just comes right out and drives over the top of him. How can he get away with that?
Now Champ Car timing and scoring is showing Jan Halen as the restart leader because he did not pit. Tracy shown second, Bourdais, Philippe, Allmendinger, Junqueira, and Servia. But it's going to take a while to sort this out, I would say.
So the Forsyth team AJ makes a mistake, he's going to have to come into the pits. I don't know how they're going to get more fuel into that thing. I don't know whether Paul Tracy's going to get away with that type of move without some sort of a drive-through penalty, because you cannot drive out on top of the leader of the race in that fashion.
Now here comes Bruno Junqueira back in. No, I'm sorry, that's Catherine Legg in car number 20, the Bell Micro machine. And here comes one of the Forsyth cars. This would be Tracy.
Is this a penalty? It has to be, because he just made the stop.
We're being told that here comes Allmendinger on the pit road. They're going to remove that part of the fuel rig and put new tires on.
And he's full of fuel. Well, we think he's full of fuel. But what happened with Tracy?
We're being told there will not be any penalties assessed, and that the running order currently is correct. Charles Wolzman didn't pit either, so he'll restart second behind Halen. Then it'll be Power, Bourdais, and Tracy. And it looks as though Allmendinger has had to shut the 7 car off.
Couldn't get a gear. Could not get a gear. Tried to get a gear. Couldn't get it. Stalled the engine.
Jan Beekes.
What happened was they waved him out, and just as Derek surmised, it just stalled. He tried to get into the gear, it stalled. It didn't appear as though they were giving him a penalty. They came in, changed the tire, doused the car with water. They're now trying to refire the car. I can tell you that the fueler, Chris Muir, was attended to by the Champ Car medical team. He walked on his own power back to the hospital. He was the one crew member that was doused with the water. He, as I said, walked on his own power back to the medical center, being checked out as we speak.
And we're seeing again what happened there. And you've seen this if you follow Champ Car racing in the past. It happens once in a while. It's a fire that you can't see. You can feel the heat, and you can see the heat shimmer. And that's why the fire crews know where to pour the water. That's the only way to put it out.
And there is a handle on the tank that stops the fuel, so it's the fuel that's in the hose is what comes out. That's what was out on the ground. And of course the water is to dilute methanol. That's how you dilute it. There's John Fricker right there, right side of your screen. John is usually on the pit crew changing the wheels. However, he broke his arm, or broke his wrist a couple of weeks ago in a motorcycle accident.
So they reset things in the Forsyth Index pit area for Tracy and Allmendinger, and we will see a restart this time by. It's Halen out in front. It's Wolzman second. They did not pit. Power, Bourdais, Tracy, and Philippe as we go green to begin lap number 16 of 59.
So when Halen and Wolzman run through their... Actually, think of it.
Wolzman did pit early.
He did pit early, so he got the look of the draw here on the yellow. So Will Power's going to have to follow him. But as regards the leaders, Power, Bourdais, Nelson, Philippe now has moved up because Tracy is shown all the way back in 14th place.
And the question, of course, what about A.J. Allmendinger? According to timing and scoring, he has gone a lap down. And there is the 18th car, Pizzonia, the Lexington Energy Rocket Sports car.
New color scheme, crashed right before qualifying on Saturday as Catherine Legg. She is running again back at the field.
Now that's the piece. That looks like a piece of damper that's caught up there. That's the fuel filler, actually, with the hose.
Oh yeah, he simply drove away, and the fueler just didn't have it out. So it slices the hose off, and the fuel that was in the rest of the hose spills out on the ground.
Riding here with Will Power.
So lucky there wasn't a fire.
Sat on the pole today. He is now third in the running order. First among the lead cars, but remember, Wolzman pitted on lap 11, so he's made his first stop. He'll probably have to make another 2 stops to get home today if we go the full 59 laps and the race is not timed to conclusion early. Of course, the time limit in effect. Now there's a look at Jan Halen. He's out in front.
First time he led a Champ Car race. Remember, Charles Wolzman led in Elkhart Lake and actually ran very well in Elkhart Lake. I am curious as to see, is Will Power injured? Is that car damaged in any way? I don't see anything on the front wings. Tracy hit him on that left front wheel. let's let this play out and let some laps go by. We see what sort of lap time he can do, but I can't tell yet whether there's not any damage on Will Power's car. Boy, Tracy will not be popular here if he takes out the hometown boy here.
We're getting our pictures, of course, from our colleagues at Network 10 in Australia, and we thank them for the fine coverage. But we did see when they came off pit road, when Tracy made contact with Power, it appeared as though some shrapnel flew from the two cars. Now, it may have been just minor under tray bits, but here it is fast in several places, so you'd think that would be important. Any piece of the car would be very important here at a place like Surfers Paradise. Well, your leader continues to be Jan Halen. Charles Wolfsman runs second. Let's take a look now at our Ford Bold Moves moment. Whoever becomes our series champion will have earned some serious frequent flyer miles. Both Allmendinger and Bourdais will have traveled to 14 races across North America and now to Australia. A second group of drivers have been competing just as fiercely for Rookie of the Year honors. That duel now boils down to these two drivers from Divergent Lands. A slim 6-point lead at the start of the weekend for the Australian Will Power, who's our pole sitter today. He leads by the dint of consistency. He's finished 11 of 12 starts, his best finish of 4th. Hot on his heels, the Englishman, Speedy Dan Clark, has been a thrill-a-minute all year. Clark has only finished 8 of 12 races, but he has a podium, 3rd at Denver. And then he was the pole award winner at Elkhart Lake last month. So the issue resolves to Verve versus Velvet, steadfastness versus splash dance. We'll learn the answer to that puzzle when we get to Mexico City. Welcome you back to Surfers Paradise, the Champ Car World Series, the Grand Prix of Australia, as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. Under caution, we've had a wild sequence of events here in the last couple of moments. Take a look at this. First, A.J. Allmendinger in the wall there.
Loses control, overcorrects. Really bad mistake for a driver here. He was in control, completely loses it. Overcorrects and just smacks the concrete wall. And then Ryan Briscoe gets muscled out when Dominguez comes down the inside, runs out of room, barely stops it before he hits the tires. He is back running again and has actually made a pit stop 1 lap before this. He's at the tail end of the field, but he's full of fuel.
3 championships in a row for Sebastian Bourdais. If A.J. Allmendinger does not return, certainly doesn't look like he will, certainly does not look like he has any chance to win. He had to beat Bourdais handily here today to have a shot at the title. Sebastian Bourdais, 3 consecutive Champ Car World Series titles.
And one of the best we've ever seen in Champ Car. And they are raindrops that you see on the helicopter. Now, one of our storylines, will Seabass sit back? Now he doesn't have to. Now we can go after Will Power. And Zwolsman, who you see right here leading.
Working lap 23, ready to go green, this time by. Jan Halen has pitted, so it's Zwolsman in control, Power, Bourdais, Serbia, and Philippe the top 5. J.D. Wilbur throws the green. We are back underway at Surfers.
And you can see Tag is there also. Paul Tracy, Ryan Briscoe, Bruno, and Catherine Legg also made a pit stop. A second pit stop right before this yellow to fill up with fuel. So they are an alternate strategy, hoping that a yellow flag will bring them, cycle them forward, just as it has Wolfsman. Jan?
And boy, Derek, I agree with you. I think we're going to see a new and renewed Sebastian Bourdais, aggressive. Now he knows he has the championship in the bag. And to answer your question, Will Power is injured as far as the car. The piece that you saw fly off on pit road was a piece of carbon from what they call the flugelhorn or tire wing. So the car is drivable, but lost a little bit of downforce. Now you have a somewhat limping Will Power and a very aggressive Sebastian Bourdais.
And as his rear wing says, wow. Imagine losing downforce and having to hold off this man here in the McDonald's car, Sebastian Bourdais, the 3 times champion. But if it begins to spit some rain here, boy, anything could happen.
As Wolfsman maintains the lead because he stopped on lap number 11, and Jan had told us before the race began, 19 laps was it. If you wanted to do this one in 2 stops, you had to stop on lap 19 and lap 59. We've had several laps of caution already, and you can see moisture there on the little lens that covers the onboard camera on Bourdais' car. Let's get on board here with Ranger. This is the Walmart MyJack Conquest machine.
Running 7th, so he's now taking advantage of the guys who stopped to come out of sequence. They're behind him. See the gears and the little little digital readout in the middle of that steering wheel. So Ranger trying to now hold off Tag. I think he passed Tag on that last lap.
It is for Zwolsman, Power, and Bourdais, and we're on board the McDonald's car number 1. Now a 3-time Champ Car World Series champion, Jan.
And you spoke a moment ago about that pit strategy, about stopping on lap 19. A lot of people stopped earlier. While we were away at commercial, a couple people did stop that were struggling. Paul Tracy, Bruno Junqueira, that was lap 20. That means if it were all green for the rest of the way, those two guys and a few others only have one more stop to make.
And we will see, of course, how this plays out. Right now, up front, you've got cars on different fuel strategies because, as we mentioned, Zwolsman stopped quite a bit earlier. Battling for position. There's the 7th place car of Amber Ranger. Antonio Pizzonia doing a nice job as he returns to Rocket Sports with that new Lexington Energy paint scheme on their car. That black and red number 18. There's Ryan Briscoe in the Roo Sports CDW car. We mentioned that Justin Wilson was injured in practice Friday, broke a bone in his wrist. So they put the CDW logos on the side of the 10 car. Ryan Briscoe will run that car here and at Mexico City, and who knows about 2007.
And the bone he broke is this, what they call the scaphoid bone. It's a small little bone right at the head of your forearm. And I know from an injury that I had to a scaphoid, it's got such little blood flow to that bone that it does not heal very quickly. So I don't know what the doctors say, but Justin Wilson is going to go back to the States as soon as possible to have that worked on, hoping it'll be strong enough for him to compete in Mexico in just 3 weeks. Jan?
We talk about doctors. I just spoke with the doctors at the Champ Car Medical Center, and Chris Muir, the fueler for A.J. Allmendinger, is fine. He's walking. He's out. He's bummed that he doesn't get to do more refueling for A.J. Allmendinger, but otherwise, A-okay.
As we ride here with Bourdais, 3 consecutive Champ Car World Series titles. Not a surprise, but not much drama. A.J. Allmendinger was very fast, got in trouble on pit road when the fuel rig was left in the car. He had to stop a second time. They had gearbox problems then. They got him going again, and he popped the wall in his haste to try to get back into contention.
Will Power has the speed to stay ahead of Bourdais. Bourdais might be just a skosh quicker in a couple of areas. According to the fastest lap, he's only about 0.05 of a second slower. That is not enough to pass anybody on a street circuit like this. But look at Power now, right behind Zwolsman.
Yeah, Power is quite a bit faster than Zwolsman under green flag conditions, maybe a second a lap. As Zwolsman's getting toward the end of his fuel run, he's on lighter fuel certainly than Power, so you think he'd be a little bit quicker. Doing a nice job to stay out there and hold the lead for a while.
Brake zone, see that? Right up behind Power. Derek Walker knows that he is going to be challenged now on the strategy game. Can he call a race strategy as good as the Newman-Haas team? They are up against a 3 times champion. Can they shine today? So far, they look good.
Well, the last time that Walker Racing went to victory lane in the Champ Car World Series, it was with Gilles de Ferran at Portland several years ago, and it was on fuel mileage. As we ride with Ryan Briscoe, just a few moments ago, Catherine Legg, they're getting by Jan Halen. Briscoe elbowing, they split Halen.
Talk about a muscle job from Catherine Legg, who's been off the road a couple of times, and Briscoe said, I'm going too, and there goes Dominguez, who's followed through. So Jan Halen obviously in trouble. Jan?
With Craig Hampson, race engineer for Sebastian Bourdais, I know you're trying to run a race right now, but you guys are the champs.
Yeah, good thing, huh? No, really pleased. We obviously had a great year. Heck of a start to the year with the 4 straight, and just really proud of the Newman-Haas McDonald's team. I mean, 3 straight, that's pretty darn impressive. So I'm pleased about that, but now I want to win this race so we can take some chances because, well, all we got to do is win. So that's what we're going to do.
Had to be a huge sigh of relief, though, as soon as you realized it was in the bag.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes this race fun now because it was just going to be stressful before, but now we can go racing. So, yeah, we're all really pleased.
All right, a Newman-Haas team not under stress. Sounds like a fast combination.
Now their driver, Sebastian Bourdais, is at the wheel of this McDonald's car number 1. 3 consecutive titles. First driver to do it since Ted Horn back in the 40s. Zwolsman still the leader in Australia. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Our coverage brought to you by CDW, the right technology right away. And by the all-new Mazda CX-7, the SUV you never saw coming. Full course yellow in Australia. Will Power, who was second from the pole, he'd led laps. Contact with Sebastian Bourdais. He stalled. We have a helmet cam on one of the pit crew members, the Aussie Vineyards team. But Derek, he's bent the left front suspension of that car.
He will not win this race. It was an unfortunate situation. They need the big hammer just to straighten that steering piece, the steering arm from the steering out to the outside of the upright. Just hit it with a big hammer, boys.
What happened, and we'll show it to you, I'm sure, momentarily, Sebastian Bourdais tried to dive bomb Power going into a left-hand corner. There was contact. Bourdais clipped Power on the inside. Couldn't make the turn, went down into a runoff area. He's okay. Bourdais back out there. Power, meantime, who was second, he led laps. He started on the pole. His chances of winning gone.
Oh, it's over. And you can see the left front, or right front, as you look at it there, is bent. I don't know whether he can drive that thing. He doesn't look comfortable going down the pit lane, but Sebastian Bourdais comes in.
Bourdais being shown seventh now.
It was a very unchampion-like move by Bourdais to try and take the lead. It was actually second place. Would have become the lead eventually when Zwalsman makes his pit. But Bourdais went down the escape road, did a 180, got back on, now pits out of sequence.
Have a look at what happened here moments ago.
Now watch Bourdais. Bourdais comes in, he's offline, locks up, boom! Goes down the inside, Will Power begins to turn in, Bourdais out of control, bends the left front suspension on Will Power's car. Here it is again, look. Bourdais cannot stop, Power turns in, sees him too late. Bends the left front suspension. Bourdais realizes he might have got away with this, but a most unchampion-like move from Sebastian Bourdais. You don't often see him making moves like that are so ill-timed.
Now there's taking chances to try to win, and then there are just ill-advised moves. It has stopped raining. There was an issue a few moments ago. Some sprinkles. Some teams even put rain tires up on the wall. No need for them. The track had dried, but Bourdais just tried to bonsai the inside there.
That was an ill-advised move, and the reason he made that pit stop just the lap earlier is because he flat spotted that right front tire in the brake zone.
And Jan Bikus, they are reviewing in Champ Car Race Control that incident between the 5-car and Bourdais.
And I'm with Derek Walker, and you've had a chance to see the replays quite a few times. Your take on what happened down there, Derek?
Well, Sebastian tried to make a pass and couldn't make the pass, and it was a collision from that point on. Bit of a bonehead move at this stage of the race to try and overtake there. It just ruined the whole bloody day for both of us. Well, at least for us anyway. So I don't know what he was thinking of, but he couldn't make the corner, so it was a pass that couldn't be made there.
What's the case of the car? You could see they tried to bend the steering arm back. Are you going to bring them back to pit road and replace it?
Well, we can try and fix the steering link, but the rack is probably broke.
Thank you, Derek. That's bad news. When your steering rack is broken, that could well be the end of the day for Will Power.
That's right, and the steering rack is the piece that's inside the car that the steering wheel is connected to. The rod that goes out that you can see bent there just ahead of the wishbone. I don't think he can steer this thing, but Derek Walker is absolutely right. That was a bonehead move by Sebastian Bourdais that just ruined the day for Team Australia and the Aussie Vineyards car. They had such a good run going, and Will Power has peeled off down to pit lane.
All right, working lap 32. We are past halfway at Surfers Paradise. Second half of the race, Champ Car World Series Grand Prix of Australia. Catherine Lake back on pit road in the Bell Micro car number 20. She's shown 15th, a couple of laps down to the leader. Oriol Servia will be the restart leader. Let's take a moment now and check our Mazda power play. Our Mazda power play, a look back at the honors for Simon Pagenaud, the Champ Car Atlantic Series champion. He was awarded his $2 million prize and his trophy at the Atlantic Awards banquet the night of the final event of the series back last month at Road America. A long list of dignitaries on hand, including Champ Car President Steve Johnson, to honor Pagenaud and the rest of the Atlantic Series stars. Ryan Dial, Alex Figge moving up to Champ Car next year. Derek Walker was honored with his award as Team Owner of the Year. But the biggest prize of the night went to Pagenaud, the young Frenchman. Champ Car principal Kevin Kalkoven helping award Pagenaud the $2 million prize. He'll use that for a Champ Car ride next year. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. We're at Surfers Paradise in Queensland, Australia for the 13th race of 2006. Hey, tonight on Speed, the Wind Tunnel. Dave Despain, don't miss a minute. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon will be our guests on Wind Tunnel. Call 888-W-TUNNEL. Share your thoughts. Two of the most popular drivers on the circuit. Dale Jr., of course, in the chase for the Cup. Jeff Gordon also in the chase after Martinsville. Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain, 9 Eastern tonight, live on Speed. We're expecting a restart this time by. They're still looking at that incident involving Will Power and champion Sebastian Bourdais. Bourdais tried to take second away from Power by dive bombing him on the inside, going into a left-hand corner. Just went in too hot. Contact with Power. Power's car damaged. Bourdais able to continue. It's Servia with the restart lead here. Philippe, Tagliani, Ranger, and Tracy, the top 5, and we're green flag in Australia.
And just keep your eye on Nelson Philippe here, because he also had a lap in qualifying that was called off because of a red flag that he thought was good enough for the pole. He said he had such an adrenaline rush after qualifying because he said he has the best car he's ever had. I think you're going to see him hit the front here, and I think he could well win this thing.
He is second right now. Philippe in that black. Oh, one car on the wall. Zwolsman in the MyJack Conquest 34. That's the red and yellow car. He clouded the wall coming out of that corner as Halen goes by in the blue and white 11 car, one of the Dale Coyne entries. There is Bourdais in the McDonald's car number 1. He's the champion. Bourdais right now 9th, Jan.
And Nelson Philippe, Derek, you mentioned how much of an adrenaline rush he has been on. The team and he just feels they've had an ultra-fast car. They just need a little bit of luck. They're just hoping the luck turns their way. They have very much not adjusted the car throughout the weekend. They've loved it at every stage, just hoping everything turns their way now.
Well, they won't have to worry about Sebastian Bourdais. He wins the championship, but he's 9th, and Derek, he's going to have to serve a penalty. A drive-through penalty's been assessed Bourdais because of that avoidable contact with Will Power. So Bourdais 9th at the moment, and he has a penalty to serve here next time by.
Wow, that's... I'm not in race control, but how Paul Tracy didn't have a penalty to serve when he whacked the leader in the pit lane, when he deliberately drove right out into the fast lane to block him and got no penalty, and Bourdais makes an ill-advised move which wasn't intentional and gets a drive-through. I suppose I don't fully understand how that all unfolds, but there is Bourdais, his day beginning to unravel here. But I am most interested in Nelson Philippe. Tag is now 3rd, so Team Australia still have a player in the game here with Alex Tagliani.
Now here's what happened again. Bourdais got by Power, but he was dragging the brakes as he did so.
I'll tell you, Bourdais will make headlines in the newspapers here tomorrow, but it won't be for the right reasons, because Power just electrified Australia as he turns in. Boom! Just kisses him right there. He electrified all the newspapers in Australia with that performance on Friday and Saturday and most of Sunday.
Well, there's your 3-time champion Bourdais. The penalty shuffles him all the way back to 12th now, but he is on the lead lap as Servia continues to lead. Philippe and Tagliani. Philippe there in the black 4 car. That's Servia in the red and white 6, the Gulfstream car from the PKV team. Right behind him, Philippe there, the CT HVM machine. 3rd spot, Tagliani, the Aussie Vineyards gold and green car. And 4th belongs to the Index Forsyth 3 of the former champion Paul Tracy. And he is right there behind Tag, putting pressure on him. Now, Derek, I've got to ask you a question about Power. Fast all weekend, fastest qualifier twice, leads the early couple of dozen laps. But is it a case of where established stars like Bourdais and Tracy didn't respect him enough and thought he wasn't enough of a factor? They didn't take him seriously enough?
Oh, man. I thought Tracy was going to dive bomb Tag that time. He faked it down the inside. I don't know whether that's true or not. I think Bourdais made a mistake. I think he just made an ill-advised move or a bonehead move, as Derek Walker called it. I don't think he would make that attempt again because Will Power was not slowing him up at all. He had the sheer speed to run with him. But Tracy, on the last lap, set the fastest lap of the first 4 guys here. So he is on a charge here, and Bruno is not too far behind. Now remember, Tracy and Bruno have more fuel. They can run longer. They potentially can cycle to the front as these front guys peel off of the pits. Jan?
In regards to Sebastian Bourdais, had a quick word with Craig Hampson, his race engineer, asked him about the incident. He said that Sebastian Bourdais said nothing on the radio. Craig Hampson said that he was in full agreement with the penalty they were assessed. I think everyone on pit road knows that one just got away from Sebastian.
Well, your point, Derek, is very well taken up front as we watch Serbia struggling to hold off Philippe. We ride here with the champion, Bourdais. But after the top 3, you've got guys on a much different pit strategy. Tracy, Junqueira, and Mario Dominguez. They're 7 laps to the good on fuel. We've got 25 to go here in Australia.
Here it comes. Here it comes for the lead.
Philippe wants the point, and he's got it. Nelson Philippe in the black
car. Oh, he hit him.
Serbia locked up the brakes in the Gulfstream red and white Lola, the 6.
What was he thinking of? He could have taken the leader out of the race. This is almost like Toronto when Nelson Philippe got into the back of Serbia. Serbia almost did the same thing.
Perhaps some bad blood. Both drivers remember. Here's Tagliani. He wants second away from Serbia.
I think Serbia's in trouble.
Remember, we told you at the top of the broadcast, Serbia didn't like the way the car was here today.
Harsh, he said. Tag smells blood here, smells second place. Tracy is watching.
You've got Tracy and Tagliani nose to tail. Remember San Jose.
Nelson Philippe set sail. Nelson Philippe, he set fastest lap in Toronto, or in Cleveland. He led 34 laps in Toronto, and he looks good here.
His last lap, his best lap, not quite the fastest lap of the day. That's another look at it. There was contact there, it appeared.
I think he hit him. I do believe he hit him.
Tagliani went through the chicane to avoid possible problems. But no penalties called by Tony Cotton.
Look at Junqueira. Junqueira is inching ever closer to Paul Tracy. This is a 4-way fight here for second place.
On the main straightaway here, the entrance to pit road, that's Tagliani and Tracy.
And you know Nelson Philippe used the push to pass, because this is the place to use it, down this long straight.
Nelson Philippe has only 18 seconds of power to pass time remaining. Cosworth power to pass time. We've had 15 winners in 15 trips to Surfers Paradise by the Champ Car World Series. Bourdais and Junqueira, Dominguez and Tracy among the drivers who won here before. Right now, Junqueira, Dominguez, and Tracy, all players in this drama with 23 laps to go today at Surfers Paradise. And Bourdais, he's still on the lead lap, and he just ran the quick lap of the day. Andrew Ranger in the Walmart Tide Hijack Conquest car, number 27. Ranger's had a pretty good day. He sits 11th right now on the lead lap, trying to get close and put some pressure on his teammate Charles Schwartzman, who recovered from that impact with the wall earlier. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series in Australia. Nelson Philippe is our leader, and we'll be back. Welcome back to Australia. Sebastian Bourdais has just pitted again. Meantime, there's some wild action on the racetrack as Bourdais brings the McDonald's car back up onto the speedway here at Surfers Paradise. He is now a 3-time Champ Car champion, 3 times in a row. First time it's been done since Ted Horn back in the 40s. Great action behind Bourdais, or actually in front of Bourdais, as we watch the shuffling. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in play. Oriol Servia, Paul Tracy, Bruno Junqueira, Mario Dominguez, all involved in this, Derek.
All I can tell you is Oriol Servia just got mugged. Over the last 2 laps, he just got muscled by everybody. This is Sebastian Bourdais, elects to come back in again, just at fastest lap of the race. He can now run to the end. So this is just purely a strategic move. There is Bruno Junqueira now. Mario Dominguez hanging on to him. They muscled their way past both of them, went flying by Servia.
20 laps to go. Serbia, who was up front a moment ago, he's got a problem. We told you earlier he didn't like the way the car was today, and he is dropping like a stone through the field as we watch the 18 of Antonio Bisogna, the new Lexington Energy paint scheme, on Paul Gentilosi's Rocket Sports car. Riding here with Ryan Briscoe in the Roosport CDW car. Drum roll, please. Grand prize winner of the 2006 Champ Car Live Fast Sweepstakes, presented by Bridgestone. Congratulations to Don Emicus of Waukesha, Wisconsin. He wins our trip to the Grand Prix of Mexico City, plus the Bridgestone Potenzas, the Auto Week subscription, and the brand new Ford Mustang GT coming up in November in Mexico City. Congratulations to Don Emicus of Waukesha. He is the grand prize winner of the Champ Car Live Fast Sweepstakes, brought to you by Bridgestone. 20 laps to go at Surfers Paradise. The championship is in the hands of Sebastian Bourdais. Nelson Philippe clinging to the lead in this one, Jan Beekes.
And of course, the championship's in the bag for Bourdais because of an unfortunate day with A.J. Allmendinger. He's with us. First of all, what happened there on pit road on that first stop?
I'm not really sure, honestly. First of all, I just want to congratulate Newman Haas and Sebastian on another great championship. Sebastian himself made me really step my game up each weekend, and because of that, I think I'm a far better driver than I've ever been. So, congratulations to them. But Forsyth Championship Racing just gave me an amazing car as usual. I think we had these guys covered again. We were just driving through the field and came in the pits, and I don't know if I left too early. I thought I was waved. More than anything, just missed timing, and I left with the fuel hose in, and it exploded. And once it did that, it burned all the sensors out of the car. So I had no gears, no lift shift gone, and so I was kind of grinding through the gears each time I had to shift and downshift. It was locking the rears, and it finally gave out under me.
Is that what caused you to hit the wall after the fact?
Yeah. I mean, it was just really hard to drive on the sense of just the gears wouldn't go in clean, up or down, and it finally just kind of locked the rear, and I lost it and got in the wall. I mean, it was unfortunate. I don't think people understand really how important like a little thing like a no-lift shift is, but after that, I wasn't even hitting 7th gear down the straightaway just because all the momentum you lose every time you get off the throttle. But probably trying a little too hard.
All right, see you in Mexico. Thank you.
The thoughts of A.J. Allmendinger. He'll be second in the championship this year, but it has been a breakout season for the former Barber Dodge and Atlantic champion, former Champ Car Rookie of the Year. Paul Tracy carrying the Forsyth Index colors now. Shown second, Derek, and he'll take the lead next time by. Nelson Philippe stopped. He can now go all the way. Tracy has to make one more stop.
So now it'll shuffle back potentially to Nelson Philippe back in the lead again, but Tracy has to run as fast as he can on a light fuel load because we know he's now done 18 laps since his last stop. He can only go maybe 1 or 2 more.
So Paul Tracy's second as we watch the Gulfstream car of Serbia come off pit road. He's just made his stop.
He just gathered up somebody's grocery bag.
And here comes...
As long as that doesn't go into the radiator. But Tracy now knows he needs to run as fast as he can on the light load because of Nelson Philippe. He knows Philippe has been in the pits. Philippe is full of fuel. He can run further to the rest, to the end here.
All right, let's show you what we've seen so far. We'll recap the action here at Surfers. First try at a green flag. Didn't work out. It was waved off. They sent them off single file. Speedy Dan Clark had problems. He's a contender for the Roche Rounds Rookie of the Year honors, but his bid took a big hit here today when he went out early on pit road. Contact here. This is what started all the trouble. Allmendinger pulled away too soon. Fuel hose stuck in the car. Fuel dumped on the racetrack and led to Allmendinger whacking the wall and ending his title bid a couple of laps later. That opened the door for Sebastian Bourdais to claim the championship. He threw caution to the wind, racing for the victory. He tried to dive bomb Will Power, who was second at the time. Instead, there was contact. Power finished for the day. Bourdais penalized. Just a few moments ago, Nelson Philippe blasted by the car of Oriol Serbia to take the lead. Serbia had to lock the brakes. He nearly ran over Philippe as they got to the chicane. Maybe light contact. Then Tracy got by Serbia. Serbia had problems. He dropped anchor at that point. Bruno Junqueira, who won this race 2 years ago, trying to get by as well. So where are we? Well, we're 18 laps from home, and Tracy's the leader. He and Junqueira and Mario Dominguez, they're 1, 2, and 3. There's Dominguez in that green and white Pemex sponsored Rocket Sports machine. He's right behind the Newman Haas hole-in-the-wall Camp 2 car now of Junqueira, who won it 2 years ago. They're second and third. They've all got to stop one more time, and very shortly.
They have done 20 laps for second and third since they last stopped. Jan Helen's done 11 laps, as has Pizzonia since their last stop. Now, so we think all that top five will have to stop again, which potentially could cycle Nelson Philippe back to the lead. Tagliani is behind Philippe, as is Andrew Ranger. The key is, where will Paul Tracy shuffle into that mix and Junqueira when they come back out? A yellow could absolutely kill Nelson Philippe's day right now if it comes out.
Nelson Philippe has been close, so close, several times this year. Got on the podium at Milwaukee at the mile on the oval back in June. Had a great run going at Toronto before that hard contact with Serbia on the backstretch. Great day going at Cleveland. He was very fast several other times this year. Things just haven't worked out for him to this point. Here comes Tracy headed for pit road. This will be his final stop of the day under green.
You see what he did? He got it sideways in the brake zone trying to get down to the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit.
18 laps to go, and here comes PT.
And you can see that our camera does 50 miles an hour down the pit lane. Okay, this has to be good. Doesn't need as much fuel as Nelson Philippe needed. So where is Philippe? Where will Philippe be on the racetrack when Tracy comes out?
11.5 seconds unofficially from the Forsyth Index 3 team, and Tracy off pit road up through the gears in his Lola.
Do we see Philippe? Saw somebody, don't think it was Philippe.
PT gave up the lead. That'll cycle Bruno Junqueira to the front, at least briefly. Bruno also now 21 laps since his last stop.
How quick can Tracy go on the outlap? He's one of the very, very best on cold tires. He knows what he has to do here. The outlap is vitally important. Oh!
Is that Philippe? I think so. In the CTHVM black car.
Wow, Tracy might have pulled it off here because Junqueira has to stop.
Mario Dominguez will as well. This is Junqueira in the hole-in-the-wall Camps 2 car. Behind him, Dominguez in that new Pemex liveried car. That's the 8 from the Rocket Sports team.
Great run there for Mario Dominguez in that Rocket Sports car. That has got better and better all the time. Good run for this Paul Gentilozzi-owned team to run this well against a Bruno Junqueira in the Newman Haas car.
Yeah, the Rocket Sports team starting to settle things, looking ahead to 2007 when the new Panos chassis comes online. And we're hearing the Newman Haas may run 3 cars for Bruno from Bourdais and for young Graham Rahal next year. And here comes Junqueira.
Okay, now where will Junqueira come out in relationship to Tracy and to Nelson Philippe?
Well, Dominguez did not pit. He'll cycle to the front of the field. Jan Bikas.
Down watching this pit stop, we saw 11.5 seconds for Paul Tracy. They go with brand new sticker tires for the hole-in-the-wall Camp Century. And wow, it's a long wait for the fuel, and we'll see where he slots in.
And Tracy was well ahead of him before he came in. I think Philippe and Tracy are up the road, but here comes Tag.
Tagliani 6th before all of this. And Junqueira gets out in front of Tagliani. Beautiful day for racing at Surfers Paradise. Dominguez, at least for now, the leader. How about Pizzonia up in 3rd? We'll be back. Presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford with Surfers Paradise. The Champ Car Grand Prix of Australia, 13th race of the season. And if you missed any of the action, and it's been a wild one, we'll show it to you again on Wednesday at noon Eastern. Only here on Speed. We'll re-air this event. And then, of course, the season finale, Sunday, November 12th, the Champ Car Grand Prix of Mexico City. The more reconfigured Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 3 o'clock Eastern, for the season finale here on Speed. Jan Halen has stuck the 11 car, the Muirman's Dale Coyne entry into the wall, and we are full course yellow. And Oriol Servia's on pit road, and they are going to take the Gulfstream Lola off of pit road. He's got a problem. He's got damage. Now there's another car. That's the car of Halen. And there is Oriol. He is out of the Gulfstream Lola. The PKV team with problems here today. Catherine Lake 2 laps down. She's had a couple of incidents. Servia explaining to the team what happened. Jan?
was a gearbox-related issue. Remember earlier when you thought that Oriol Servia was in trouble? It turned out he had lost fifth gear. He was driving without fifth gear. That's why he started dropping back. Then the gearbox started to spray, and unfortunately, at the same time, his teammate Catherine Legg has clouded the wall, so a horrible end of the day for PKV Racing. They black flagged Servia because of gearbox spray. That fifth gear somehow damaged the case.
Well, Jan Halen's out of the Muirman's Sonny's Barbecue car. Catherine Legg, I should say, in the Bell Micro car, also in the tire barrier. We were watching Halen there. And they will remove the 11 car, the Muirman's machine. There is Catherine Legg's car. That's at the chicane.
And Catherine has walloped the left front of that car. I mean, the front suspension is just wrapped around. Wing is torn off it. Wow, Catherine's... I think Catherine's had about 6 incidents today.
She's at turn 2. Halen's car's at turn 12. And this will take a couple of moments. So we are full course yellow here at Surfers Paradise. Now let's reset if you're just joining us. 15 laps to go. Antonio Pizzonia has cycled to the lead, but he's going to have to stop again. He's been 15 laps since his last pit stop. He is the leader at the moment. Nelson Philippe, who's run 6 laps since then, and the cautions will get Philippe home. Tracy, Mario Dominguez, and Tagliani, the top 5. Carl Haas, 3 times in a row, the championship car owner with Paul Newman, because Sebastian Bourdais claimed the title today. Hey, I want to remind you, coming up, you can vote starting November 20th online at speedtv.com for Speed's Performer of the Year Awards. 8 of them will be taking fan votes in. Best Rivalry, Biggest Upset, Biggest Hit of the Year, the Oops Award, Tell It Like It Is, Best Finish, Temper, Paul Tracy, Sebastian Bourdais come to mind there, Best Victory Celebration, and then, of course, Performer of the Year that a panel of experts will decide, and that awards show will be coming up in February. But starting November 20th, a couple of weeks away, you can go online to speedtv.com and vote in the Speed Performer of the Year balloting online. Now, Sebastian Bourdais, 3 consecutive championships, opened up the year by winning 4 straight races. It began in Long Beach, then under the lights at the new course in Houston, where we'll go again next year. Monterrey, Mexico, a dominant run on a very hot day. And the one I think he was most proud of, the Milwaukee Mile, where he dominated. Bourdais also the winner at San Jose this year, a hard-fought battle. And then at Montreal, a race rained out Sunday, run on Monday. Nelson Philippe on the podium there as well. Sebastian Bourdais, 3 consecutive championships in the McDonald's Newman Haas Car Number 1. First time it's been done since Ted Horn in 1948, 58 years ago. Still waiting to remove the PKV car, the Bell Micro 20 of Catherine Legg, into the tire barriers over at turn 2. We stay under yellow with 14 laps to go. Andrew Ranger's gotten refired, and there is the safety car out on the track. But
the absolute key to this race is how did Nelson Philippe scramble his way by Paul Tracy? However he did it could mean the difference between winning and not winning here. Jan?
In regards to PKV, we obviously were witness to an end of what had been a fairly tough weekend for the whole crew. And Kevin Kalkoven, one of the team owners, has this weekend been spending a lot of time with Paul Stoddard, who comes from Formula One, from Minardi background, and basically taking him to press conferences. He's sitting with him now up on the timing stand. He is trying to woo him to come, and in fact, Paul Stoddard has said there's an excellent chance, about 50-50 or better, that he will field a team here in Champ Car next year. So unfortunately, his guest that he has on the timing stand got to see what the bad side is when things all come unglued.
And Paul Stoddard, who is Australian, still owns the Minardi name. How cool would it be to have Minardi in Champ Car? He still has a fleet of Minardi 2-seater Formula One cars also that he loves to activate every now and then, so you never know, he might persuade Kevin to let him run those things around also. Where do we get all this information? From autoracing1.com, of course. We are fully educated from autoracing1.com.
As we are under caution, there will be 13 laps to go next time, 12 to go next time by. There's Alex Tagliani. He'll restart from the 5th position, and Tag has been out on track only 8 laps since his last stop, so he should be able to get all the way home. He's in pretty good shape. Pizzonia, I suspect, will need to stop. It's been 16 laps since he came to pit road. So Pizzonia, with his time in the sun right now, and he's done an excellent job for Rocket Sports as that team rebuilds and rebounds. 2007, the new Panos DPO1 chassis that we're all so excited about, and an awesome April. We'll see 3 consecutive events, a brand new season opener, the streets of Las Vegas and the old downtown of Las Vegas. A week later, we'll be in Long Beach for the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, then to Houston on Sunday, April the 22nd. 3 weeks in a row to get the series underway. And here is the balance of the current 15-race schedule. You see that TBA in September. Champ Car still in negotiations for a couple of European rounds in September. We'll be back here at Surfers Paradise October 21st, then Mexico City. And the season will close in Phoenix downtown December 2nd. It'll be a very exciting schedule. Really looking forward to July 1st when we will go to Mont Tremblant, San Jovite. There's the brand new DPO1. Roberto Moreno steering that car. Some exhibition laps here at Surfers Paradise as well.
And billed as the future of racing, because they say it's built to a new philosophy. Incidentally, there is paddle shifting on this car. The paddle shifting of Champ Car next year will take 24 milliseconds for downshifts or for upshifts and 27 milliseconds for upshifts. That is about 3 milliseconds slower than a Formula One car. Oh, gee. And of course, the Champ Car system has a pneumatic paddle shifting system as opposed to Formula One cars that use hydraulic. That is a very modern, good-looking racing car that Roberto Moreno has enjoyed driving around the streets of Surfers Paradise here. And in fact, he was on the pace lap again.
Yeah. Pit lane is open right now, and Champ Car telling the teams pack the field up, trying to get ready for a restart here. We've got 12 laps to go. Still Pizzonia, but the battle really is Philippe, Tracy, Dominguez, and Tagliani.
Yeah, and Pizzonia really has to stop now because it's under yellow. The field is going as slow as it will go, so he's better off to come in right now, then get Briscoe out of the way and let the battle begin.
10 cars left on the lead lap. We'll be back in Australia. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. We're in Surfers Paradise in Queensland, Australia, for the Champ Car Grand Prix of Australia. Alongside Derek Daly, I'm Rick Benjamin. Jan Beekes down under for us today. He is along pit road. It's been a wild day. Sebastian Bourdais claiming his 3rd consecutive championship. He won't do it with a trip to victory lane. He's been penalized. Contact with Will Power late. Not yet ready to go green. You can see the lights still on that Ford Mustang pace car being driven by the Champ Car pace car team. There's Pizzonia, that black and red Rocket Sports car. Lexington Energy. Now, they're a huge concern up in the Edmonton, Alberta area. You know, Champ Car has been to Edmonton now twice, a huge success in that race. So successful that the folks at Lexington Energy said, hey, we want to be a part of this all year round, and they've come on board with Rocket Sports. So Pizzonia, Philippe, and Tracy, and car number 10 being assessed a drive-through penalty. That's Ryan Briscoe making his Champ Car debut for the Rousport team.
Okay, so that got him out of the way. Now Pizzonia surely will stop under yellow when everybody is running so slowly, or maybe he just wants the television time to try and lead this thing. But by rights, I mean, he's leading, so he doesn't have to move over for Nelson Philippe.
But you'd think they'd pit him before we go green.
I would have thought so. To give him the best chance at the best possible result in the race. If they don't pit him under yellow,
Briscoe taking advantage.
Then they're not thinking of the big picture here.
Briscoe taking advantage of that mandatory trip down pit road. They put a new set of Bridgestone Potenza Blackwall regular compound tires on and topped him off with fuel. So the field's setting up for the restart.
I just heard that car number 3 and 8 will reverse positions, which is Dominguez and Tracy, for passing under yellow. That's popped up on our Champ Car view here. If that's the case, wow. Jan?
With Will Phillips, race engineer for Nelson Philippe. I know we're ready to come back to green. You said you needed a bit of luck. Looks like you've got it.
Well, 10 more laps to go. We'll see if it holds.
Car feels good. Everything A-OK, fuel and everything else?
Everything's good. Just need to keep it clean. I said 10 laps. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Concerned about Pizzonia, that he stayed out in front and didn't pit?
No, he can't make it. He's only got 4 or 5 laps of fuel, so we just got to look behind us, keep it clean.
What do you tell Nelson?
Oh, look, see what
He's telling us, we're not telling him.
Nelson Philippe making the calls right now, saying, we're close to home, baby.
Okay, Jan, something else just went Nelson Philippe's way because Dominguez is now ahead of Paul Tracy.
They did exactly what you said, Derek. Champ Car officials in the race control, they've moved Dominguez around Tracy. They say that Tracy passed under yellow.
I can't understand why Pisonia, for the sake of a couple of laps on television at the lead, has not gone in while all these cars are running slowly and made his pit stop under yellow to get the best possible finish in this race.
Makes you wonder if perhaps their radios aren't working and they can't communicate with him.
Oh, they got a pit board.
You'd think.
They got a pit board. So now Nelson Philippe is going to have to be really... Oh, Nelson let him go. He let him go.
Ready for a restart. 10 laps to go, and we're back underway.
And they're all got to push the power on.
Cosworth power to pass, an extra 50 horsepower as they get on the button on the front stretch.
Dominguez is a past winner here, but that was in the rain the last time. Dominguez is a deep breaker. He's one of the great late breakers of Champ Car. Can he make an attack move on Nelson Philippe with less than 10 laps to go?
Philippe there in the black well box CT HVM 4 car is second. Pisonia will have to stop. He continues to lead. Dominguez in that green and white car third. Here's the Walmart car of Andrew Ranger. He's up to 7th now.
And he's on the Bridgestone Reds as opposed to Tracy, who's on the slower, regular tires.
Cosworth power to pass time remaining, top of your screen. As Pisonia continues to lead, we show you by the bar graph method who's got what left as well. Philippe just about out of power to pass time. In fact, he's only got 2 seconds now. When he hits the button, he'll get a 10-second squirt, so he can use that defensively against Dominguez or Tracy.
Save it!
Jan Vikas.
In regards to Pisonia, it turns out they wanted to pit him, but there was a miscue on the pits. They did not get the pit board or the radio call out soon enough. They thought the pits were closed. That's why they didn't pit when they had their first opportunity. Then when they felt as though they missed that opportunity, they said, well, we'll just stay in the front and ride it out.
How about this? We're riding with Will Power, who's back out there. We thought he was finished after that contact with Bourdais. He's got bent front end pieces. We heard Derek Walker say the steering rack was broken. He's out there a lap down.
What's this? Nelson Philippe. Here he comes.
He's going to try to race his way by Pisonia, and I don't know why he would try to do that, Derek.
Oh, does he have it? No, not this time.
Pisonia on much lighter fuel in that red and black Lexington car number 18.
And Will Phillips, Nelson Philippe's engineer, would have told him, don't worry, Pisonia is going to have to peel off. Just protect yourself from Mario Dominguez.
9 laps to go at Surfers. Nelson Philippe can taste his first Champ Car win, his 3rd year in the series, but former Australia winner Mario Dominguez, one of his first drives for Rocket Sports, knocking on the door.
Pisonia from Brazil, better known in Formula One circles as Jungle Boy. Whoa, look at Dominguez.
He wants it
Here
to
we
the
go.
inside. This is for second. He roll. He and Philippe, they just make it through the chicane.
How did they make it through that chicane? That was an awesome piece of driving by Dominguez.
Here
and
comes
Philippe.
Tracy. Tracy on the outside now.
They gave each other room.
Oh, he shortcut the chicane. Tracy's going to be penalized for that.
Again. He did it before.
Now, why would he try a move there, Derek?
Desperation. 9 laps to go. Wow, Nelson Philippe used his muscle to stay outside Dominguez, and Dominguez gave him enough room to race. Therefore, there was no crash. Good move by both of those guys.
Paul Tracy shortcut the chicane. Here's another look.
I'm not sure they'll penalize him for that. He had his brakes locked. I think they might let him away with that one, Jan.
Tony Cotman told me, Derek, that what he would do in that incident, if they were close together and a guy shortcut the chicane, he would force him to give back the time. So Paul Tracy has to lose position and, well, no position, but distance, so the gap is the same, so he would have gained no advantage on the racetrack. Looks like Paul has done that, so no harm, no foul now.
Good decision, because Tracy has given back the time. I would hate to see that battle broken up with a penalty, because Tracy was well locked up with the right front and just had to go down on a straight line.
Well, what Tony Cotman's telling the Forsythe team, Tracy's got to go behind Alex Tagliani. You know the history of those two, especially at San Jose. Tracy's got to let Tag get by him to give back the time.
What?
That's what we got the message for a moment ago.
The Tag wasn't near him when that happened. Anyway, Dominguez is still setting out after Nelson Philippe. Philippe is waiting for Pizzonia to pull off. He can't wait to see him go to the pits.
There's Paul Tracy in the Forsyth Index, car number 3, the 03 Series champion. Early shown forth.
Pizzoni has done 21 laps, so under yellow he can probably go to 23. I don't think he can go much more.
Pizzonia on borrowed time out front as we watch Tracy. Third in line among the cars that can make it home all the way. Philippe, second spot. Dominguez third. Now we watched their battle a few moments ago.
There he goes.
Here comes Pizzonia, so he gives up the lead with 7 to go.
He's going to lose a ton of time.
No tires, fuel only.
Yeah.
Just enough to go 7 laps, about 21 miles.
And way behind everybody right now. But Nelson Philippe now is at the head of the field. Can Dominguez catch him? Can Tracy make up the time again? Jan?
In regards to that penalty, I talked about Paul Tracy having to give up position and distance. I said, well, it wouldn't be position. Well, they now have determined that if you were in a pack of cars and you shortcut the chicane, you do have to give up position. So now the call is going to come from race control, and he will have to let Alex Tagliani go by. Not that Alex Tagliani was close, but they agreed in the drivers' meeting if there was a pack of cars and you shortcut, you would have to give up 1 spot.
That was the indication we received from race control here. Here's another look at Tracy as he shortcut the chicane.
Brave move, brave move. Watch his left front, locks up, goes right over the top. Didn't make, he was nowhere near making that because Mario did not back off. He's now about to let Team Australia onto the podium. Yeah, we might have a party tonight yet.
Tracy and Dominguez, of course, started the year as teammates at Forsyth Championship Racing. Mario Dominguez dropped from the team in favor of A.J. Allmendinger before the series went to Portland. You know the story. Allmendinger jumped in that 7 car, won 3 in a row to get himself into championship contention. 7 to go here. It's Philippe Dominguez. It'll be Tagliani to 3rd. Tracy will have to drop back to 4th. Andrew Ranger has raced his way to 5th there.
What a result this could be for the Rocket Sports team, for Paul Gentilozzi, for John Gentilozzi, for everybody on that team to potentially finish on the rostrum 1 position from the winners. Here's Tag going by. Tracy letting him by. Oh, that must frustrate him. That must infuriate him.
And there comes a move by Bruno Junqueira. Junqueira 6th, trying to get around the 27 of Ranger for 5th. Ranger right back at him. And look at Bourdais after the penalty and the incident with power. Bourdais right there in 7th.
Bruno is wounded. Surely he can't be losing positions like this. He's on the Cosworth power to pass, but Bruno does not look happy right now.
Philippe is out of Cosworth power to pass time. Also, Tracy and Tagliani have used up all of theirs. Mario Dominguez has 1 more 10-second squirt of that extra 50 horsepower to come. Bourdais on board through the chicane. Bourdais has moved to 7th now, trying to get by the car of Bruno Junqueira. Andrew Ranger in the top 5. Great run for the Walmart Tide My Jack Conquest driver, the teenager from Quebec, Canada. He is holding off Bruno Junqueira. He is 5th right now. Now, Bruno tried him a few moments ago. Ranger was able to get back by him. Kind of a slide job like you'd see on a dirt track.
And this is Walmart Canada that backs Andrew Ranger, but for all the things that has happened today, Ranger has kept his nose clean, and the My Jack Conquest car in the top 5 right behind Paul Tracy.
What a great finish that would be for Ranger. I believe that would be his career best if he can close the deal with 5 to go. Philippe is the leader, gunning for his first career victory, his 3rd season in Champ Car.
Wow.
It's been a great rise for Nelson Philippe, one of the most personable young men you'll meet. But Mario Dominguez says, hey, this is not over yet. He's on the Bridgestone Reds, Derek, and he is attacking.
Oh, Dominguez smells the blood here. Maybe he can make it happen. These straights are long enough. If you have any power to pass left, you can use it.
He's got 1 more shot at it. There'll be 4 to go this time by.
He might be lining them up. He might be lining Nelson Philippe up here.
Now Philippe is on a lighter fuel load. He stopped 5 laps earlier than did Dominguez.
Oh, this is a good street fight here. Both on the faster Bridgestone Potenza Reds.
Dominguez drags the brakes, nearly ran out of road there.
This is what it's all about here. This is the street fight. This is the street fight here in Australia, the other side of the world. Dominguez knows what it's like to win here. Can Philippe pull it off? There is Dominguez' team right there. Brian Maw, the engineer. Brian Maw, the engineer, had told us already that he is one of the deepest breakers in the field, but he's too far behind there. What happened?
If you were here for our Bridgestone pre-race coverage, you heard him say they needed extra brake pads to accommodate Dominguez. That's how hard he hammers the brakes and how late he does it at the end of the straightaway. Top 2 through the chicane, 4 laps to go at Surfers Paradise.
Remember, Nelson Philippe led in Cleveland and the car broke. He then led in Toronto but came out of pit sequence. It is all going his way here, but it's not over yet.
Sebastian Bourdais in 7th spot. He's a 3-time champion. We'll be back in Australia. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. We're at Surfers Paradise in Queensland, Australia for the Champ Car Grand Prix of Australia. There's the 3 consecutive championship earning Sebastian Bourdais. It's been a trouble-filled day. Started on the outside pole, has not led here today. Survived contact with Will Power when he tried a very bold, maybe ill-advised move on the inside at the end of one of the long straightaways here. Didn't damage the car, snapped it around to the runoff area, got her going again, served a penalty, and has come back to run on the lead lap in 7th behind his teammate Bruno Junqueira. There's Andrew Ranger, the Tide Walmart MyJack Conquest 27 car. Ranger remains 5th in front of Bruno and Bourdais. Up front, it's still Philippe and Dominguez. They'll see 3 laps to go next time by, working lap 56
to give you an idea how even Philippe and Mario Dominguez are, their fastest laps of the race are 0.05 of a second apart. Paul Tracy, however, is the fastest man on the racetrack. He is the only man in the 1:33. So Tracy set the fastest lap, but I don't think he has the speed now to run down Tagliani.
Now Ranger's got a lot of Cosworth power to pass time left, 45 seconds worth in fact. He's on the Reds. I'm surprised he can't line up Tracy and take a run at him for 4th spot.
He might. Come on, Andrew.
Meantime, Dominguez in 2nd. He's got one more shot of Cosworth power to pass.
He's catching him. He is. He's catching Tracy.
Andrew Ranger with a bit in his teeth.
Give us the juice there, Andrew.
The 2 Canadians.
See what he just did?
Pulled the tear off.
Tore off a tear off. Gives himself a nice clean visor. There's Tracy. He's right there. He can catch him.
3 laps to go. Your race leader in the well box, CTE HVM car number 4, young Nelson Philippe. Also, just turned 20 this summer in Edmonton. 3rd year in the series. What a great young driver he is. Dominguez.
Good stuff here. I will tell you, the 2 cars, 1st and 2nd, are handling a little bit differently. Nelson Philippe is faster down the straight. That is a huge advantage at this late stage in the race. Dominguez has more downforce. That's why he catches them all through the squiggly bits. But if you're not fast down the straight, I don't know whether even the Cosworth power to pass will be enough to help Mario Dominguez as he tries to overhaul the leader, Nelson Philippe.
Meantime, Alex Tagliani's doing a terrific job, 3rd for Team Australia in the 15 car. We're hearing from Derek Walker. They might run 3 cars next season for Tag, for Will Power, of course, and for Simone Pagenaud, who has that $2 million scholarship, if you will, for winning the Champ Car Atlantic title this year. There's Ranger, Bruno Junqueira, the 04 winner here, in the hole-in-the-wall Camps 2 car, the red and white machine. He drags the brakes down into the corner. Bruno, at the moment, is 6th behind Ranger.
Not too long to go. You have to be careful. You cannot make a mistake now. That is so unforgiving. Those concrete walls that line this racetrack.
White flag next time by. It's still Philippe leading. Dominguez is 2nd.
Ranger did not pull up on Paul Tracy on that last lap. He did not close in. He's on the rev limiter. He's on the rev limiter. Maybe the gear is too short for Andrew Ranger.
Still this battle for 5th. We'll keep you posted on the battle for the lead. Our pictures coming from our friends at Network 10 in Australia. We appreciate all the hard work they've provided us this week. Here, the battle for the lead. White flag will be in the air. Philippe in the black car.
Mario.
Dominguez, he's on the power to pass. Final time.
I don't think he's close enough. How much does he have left?
This is his last burst. He's used it all up.
Okay.
He got 10 seconds, and that's it.
I like Philippe's chances. Philippe has the speed down the straight. Philippe is confident. Remember, he said, this is the best car I've ever had. That is a great feel for a driver because you just feel you can do anything. And you see through this section here, he's actually faster than Mario Dominguez.
He's on lighter fuel. He stopped 5 laps earlier. Mario Dominguez won this race in 2002, his first career Champ Car win. Trying to become the first driver to win 2 of these Grand Prix of Australia.
Did you see Dominguez?
Yes, I did.
Got her sideways under wheel spin. Traction control didn't take off there. We talked about Sweet 16. Will we have 16 different winners in Australia? Sure looks like it right now.
What a great thing this would be, not only for Nelson Philippe, but for CTE HVM Racing.
Cedric the Entertainer. That's the CTE. Joined the team earlier this year. Wow, he must love what he sees right now.
Couple of corners from home for Nelson Philippe, who races now out of Florida. Native of France. His family travels with him to all of these events. His younger brother Richard in the Champ Car Atlantic Series. Mario Dominguez, who certainly could use a win, will head for home in second spot. Here comes the 4 car. Nelson Philippe about to score his first career Champ Car win. Nelson Philippe is your winner.
Whoa!
Mario Dominguez is second. Alex Tagliani will come home third. Then it's Tracy and a top 5 for Andrew Ranger.
Well,
Bruno Junqueira sixth.
That will be tears all around. There is a team that we have said throughout this season is just a very, very good, well-organized team. Vince Kramer is the team manager, and he gets a chance to do the donuts. Darrell Fox. I think Darrell's from New Zealand, so that's not too far away. But Nelson Philippe has shown the speed to win races this year, and he finally does it.
And Sebastian Bourdais finishes 8th on the lead lap. Bourdais is the 2006 Champ Car World Series champion, 3 in a row. First time it's been done in 58 seasons. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Our coverage today brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, passion for excellence, and by Ford, bold moves. They happen every day.
And Sebastian, it's been a long season. At first it looked like things were all going your way, then a rough mid-season, but now you've done it. You've wrapped it up here in Australia for the 3rd year in a row, 2nd year in a row here in Australia. Tell us about it.
I don't know what to say. I guess it's been probably the most screwed up day of my life, but you know, we're winning the championship, the 3rd in a row, as you said, and it's an historic day for McDonald's team, and really it's just a shame we finish on that kind of note, but I guess we have to laugh about it because really it was so ridiculous that I can't even find words for it.
You talk about that kind of note, I assume you're talking about the incident with Will Power?
No, the whole situation, the whole race, I think everything went wrong from that moment on, but the penalty, everything, I mean, you know, you're just trying to pass someone. We made contact, I had no choice. It was either I was running straight in the tires with one wheel locked and he was going to run into me anyways, or run into the runoff, and I had to go right a little bit. So I don't even know why I got penalized, to be very honest. I just tried to pass someone, didn't make contact, he made contact into me, so I don't know. It's just one of these days where you just don't even try to find explanations, you just make it to the finish.
But you don't need an explanation for being the champion. You are the 2006 Champ Car World Series champion. What's next for you?
It's I think it's going to take a little bit of time to understand exactly the meaning of it, but right now, we're definitely going to celebrate that.
All right, they want to get you on the podium. They want to give him the cup. You're looking at the 2006 Champ Car World Series champion.
Well, let's have a look at our final results from Australia, the 13th race of the season. Nelson Philippe is your winner, and a surprise, Mario Dominguez, Alex Tagliani on the podium. Paul Tracy settles for 4th, with Andrew Ranger coming home in 5th. Jan caught up with our race winner just a few moments ago.
And here he is, the 16th different winner in 16 years, Surfers Paradise, Australia. Nelson Philippe. Nelson, you told me this morning you just need a bit of luck, and boy, it came your way.
It's amazing. I don't know what to say. The only thing I can say right now is I need to learn how to do no nuts because I sucked. But I mean, amazing. The guys, they deserve this all year, and I mean, I couldn't be happier. This is by far the best thing that's ever happened in my life, and I have these guys to thank.
Tell me about the last few laps. You obviously had some pressure from Dominguez. And what was your heart rate like at that stage?
Okay, don't pay attention to anything. Just like any other race, like a go-kart race when you were 14, just continue working at it. And Mario was putting a lot of pressure, and was able to keep him off, which was good. But great battle, great day. Out of words.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jan. A well-deserved victory for young Nelson Philippe at age 20, a first-time Champ Car winner. One race to go in the season. Sebastian Bourdais has clinched the title. Allmendinger will be 2nd in the championship. Wilson will be 3rd this year, even though he is injured. Didn't run today. May not run in Mexico City. Philippe up to 4th now in front of Tracy. Then Dominguez 6th. Junqueira, Power, Ranger, and Tagliani. Well, a reminder, join us Sunday, November 12th for the season finale of Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. We'll be south of the border at the Champ Car Grand Prix in Mexico City from the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Coming up next on Speed Test Drive. For Derek Daly and Jan Pikus, I'm Rick Benjamin. So long from the Champ Car Studios and the Champ Car Grand Prix of Australia. Nelson Philippe is our race winner. Sebastian Bourdais is a 3-time Champ Car champion.